Welcome to my channel, and I'm here to inspire you, give you crochet advice, and help you along with your next project. If you enjoyed this pattern, please give me a thumbs up or even comment so I can gauge your interest. It helps me to know what to film next. I'm not very formal. Here's today's zinger. You know, if you show me yours, I would consider showing you mine. Yeah, our work in progress. I don't know what you're thinking. Without further ado, let's get on with today's tutorial. Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd. So it's my friends over at yarnspirations.com. Today is the Millie the Mouse crochet toy. We're gonna do start to finish in today's tutorial. This mouse is approximately about 9 inches tall, and you're going to use a 4.5mm US 7 crochet hook, and Red Heart Super Saver will be fine. I'm going to be using Peyton's Inspired. That's left over from my Study of the Journey Afghan today, so that's what you'll see those colors to be. You'll also need a pair of safety eyes, just like you see, and I have a little kit that I got from online. And what we have here is that we're just gonna work through this step by step. You'll also need a tapestry needle, and I may actually just change some stuff as I go, so just keep an eye on that. And if you like this pattern, of course you can download it on the Crochet Crowd and just follow the link in the more information in this video. So let's be able to do this, and let's get started right away, and let's begin with the head and body. So we're gonna start with the head and work our way down. Make sure that you have your colors available to you. There's only 4 colors that you see. One thing I will be doing different is that you can see the slip stitch line here in the back of the mouse. I am going to be teaching this in a sense of a continuous round, so we'll be using a stitch marker to mark our rounds. So at the end of a round I will not join, and then I will not chain one to start a new round. I'll be just going in a continuous spiral to do that. So just make sure you keep an eye on that. That's gonna be the biggest difference, and therefore it'll eliminate any slip stitching lines, period. If there is any changes, I will make a note as we're going in the tutorial, but I will tell you in real time on the video as well. So let's begin the head and body right here as our starting step. So I'm going to change the way that we're gonna start. We're not going to chain 2, and we're not going to single crochet a second chain from the hook. What I'm going to do is create a magic circle, an adjustable ring, and all I want you to do is put it in front of your hand like this. Let me just back you out a little bit. And I want you to take the yarn over your under your fingers here and go over and cross like that. Okay, so in front and then cross over the back. Okay, and what I need you to do is that I need you just to pick up the first one and drag this under, and you can slide that off your fingers and just chain 1 to lock it, so it will not come undone. So what we need to do is that we need to start round number 1 right here and right now. So we need to put in 6 single crochets into this ring. Make sure that you're going up over top of the 2 strands that you see. So let's count those out together. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Once you have your 6, just pull a loop and take this end that you have and pull tight, and that will form this center, but this will come out if you leave it as is. So you need to grab your tapestry needle right now and secure that in. If you cut it and you don't secure it, it will fall out. That's a guarantee. So looking at the back of this, you're just going to take the tapestry needle and just stay on the back side of the circle, and you pull it through once and then back the other direction twice. That's the second time, sorry, and third time is a charm. So make sure that you do that before moving on. Then you can safely get rid of that tail end. But we're not quite done. What we have to do, the very last stitch, I'm doing a continuous round as I promised. So grab a spare piece of yarn, and on the very last stitch I need you to put in that. So just sneak it in and put that there, and that represents the end of the round. So every time it's the very last stitch of a round, I want you to move that up so that you can physically see it, so you can be ready next time. So you know at this point we've not joined it to the very beginning, because we're gonna do a continuous round starting in round number 2. Let's begin that next. Let's begin round number 2. So you're going to start right here. So if you're not sure, you can count it back and see the 6th one back. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's because we've not joined it yet, so that's why you have to make sure that you get it, and then that's where you're going to place in 2 single crochets. Make sure you pull it nice and tight. And so now for the entire round, every stitch until you get to that stitch marker will be 2 single crochets. So that last stitch marker will have 2 in it, and you'll move the stitch marker up to the last stitch that you put in. Okay, so what I'm going to do in this tutorial is that I'm going to give you the instruction to take yourself around, and then I'll have you do it and go right to the last stitch like I'm doing right now, and then move up your stitch marker, and therefore we can speed along in this tutorial. So you'll have the time markers to let you know when to stop the video so that you can stay caught up with me. So this is the end of round number 2. So let's start round number 3. In round number 3, here's your instruction. You are going to single crochet the very first one, and then the next one will have 2 single crochets into the same stitch. Okay, and you're gonna keep that sequence going all the way around. So the next one will be 1 by itself, and the next one after that will be 2 into the same stitch. Please repeat that cycle all the way around until the very last one. Finish it and move your stitch marker. This is round number 3. So I'm coming up to the end of number 3. I just want to verify. So you know how we have the cycle. So the last stitch here has the 2 single crochets in it. That's because we're just keeping the cycle going, or the repeating stitches, and then you move up your stitch marker, and that was round number 3. Let's move to round number 4 next. In round number 4, here is the repeating pattern. The first 2 are going to be by themselves. So there's going to be 1 and 2 by itself, and then the next one has 2 single crochets into the same one. So we have 1 and 2. So remember, the cycle is 1 and 2 are by itself, and then the next one has 2. Please do that all the way around for round number 4. Okay, round number 5. Just in case you need the stitch count number, it is written on the pattern, just in case you want that. So round number 5, it's going to be the first 3 are by itself. So we have 1, 2, and 3, and then the next one has 2 into the same stitch. So the repeating for this round is 3 by itself, and then 2 into the same one. Please do that all the way around for round number 5. Here we go for round number 6. The first 4 are by itself. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then the next one has 2 into the same stitch. So the repeating cycle for the 6th round is 4 by itself, and then 2 into the same one. Please do that all the way around for round number 6. Here we go for round number 7. So number 7, there's going to be 5 by itself. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then 2 into the same one. Okay, so the repeating cycle is 5 by itself, 2 into the same. Do that all the way around for round number 7. The next 4 rounds from 8 to 11 are all the same, and it's just going to be 1 single crochet in each stitch all the way around. Please make sure that you check it off on your list as you pass that stitch marker. Continue to move the stitch marker, and it's 1 single crochet in each stitch for the next 4 rounds. So this will be 8, 9, 10, and 11. I'll be back at the end of number 11. So let's start the 12th round. I have a piece of paper here for my left-hander, so it's going to be here backwards for you, but just bear with me. It's got 1 through 11 here back in the background. So we're going to start off number 12, and the first 10 are going to be 1 single crochet by itself. This is not part of the repeat pattern. So let's just do the first 10. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now we're gonna start the repeat pattern, and the repeat pattern is 11 times in total. This is why I have 1 through 11 here. So here's what we're going to do is that we're gonna single crochet into the next, and then 2 single crochets into the next one after that. That is number 1. So check it off on your list. Do the next one. 1 by itself, 2 into the next one. This is number 2. And then 1 by itself, 2 into the next. That's number 3. 1 by itself, 2 into the next. That's number 4. 1 by itself, 2 into the next. It's number 5. 1 by itself, 2 into the next. That's number 6. one by itself, 2 into the next. That was number 7. 1 by itself, 2 into the next. Number 8. So 1 by itself, 2 into the next. That's number 9. 1 by itself, 2 into the next. That's number 10. And 1 by itself, 2 into the next. And that should take you to the end of the repeat, which is number 11. Now there should be 10 stitches that are left before you get to the edge, so let's just test that theory out. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So that takes you all the way to the end. That was number 12. So we currently have one side of this that looks a little misshaped because there's extra stitches here, and this is going to be helping us for this mouse. Let's begin the 13th to the 16th rounds next. The next 4 rounds are simply just one single crochet in each of the stitches all the way around. So please mark those off as you go. So rounds number 13, 14, 15, and 16 is one single crochet in each, and you'll see that the misshape that we just created is going to be happening, which is part of the features of the mouse. Please do this all the way around for the next 4 rounds, and I'll be back at the end of the 16th round in a moment. So let's begin the 17th round. For my left-handers this will appear backwards, but I want you to pull the access to that list again of 1 through 11, and we're gonna be checking it off as we go. So let's start number 17. The first 10 are by itself. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So now we're gonna refer to this list, and we're gonna go backwards to reduce the size, and I'm gonna show you a technique that I learned many years ago that reduces the look of a reduction, so it makes it look seamless. So the first one will be one single crochet by itself, and the next 2 are 2 together. So you're just gonna come up through the front loop only, but wait, there's more. I want you to rotate the hook and capture the second loop in a row. So it's 2 stitches in a row, yarn over, pull through, and then pull through 2, and that pulls those 2 stitches together and makes it look seamless. So that was 1. So check it off on your list. So that was 1. So let's do the next one. One single crochet by itself, and the next 2 are together. So up on the front loop, pull through 2. Okay, that was number 2. Number 3 is 1 by itself, and then 2 together. Number 4, 1 by itself, 2 together. Okay, this is number 5, 1 by itself, 2 together. Number 6, 1 by itself, and 2 together. Number 7 is 1 by itself, and 2 together. Number 8, okay, number 9, 1 by itself, 2 together. Number 10 is 1 by itself, 2 together. And finally the last one, 1 by itself and 2 together. And there should be a total of 10 stitches left before you get to the stitch marker. So let's start counting those out. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. It took you all the way around. Okay, so now you can see what's happening now is that we have one side that has a jet out, so chances are this is where the nose is, and we're gonna continue then to round number 18. So I'm gonna ask you to continue that same idea on how you're doing the two together. It makes it look really good, so just keep with it, and if it's new for you, just keep on trying if it's hard. So number 18 is one single crochet in the next 5, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then 2 together. Okay, so then the repeat pattern is 5 by itself and then 2 together. Please repeat that all the way around. Round number 18. Let's go for round number 19. The first 4 by itself, so 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then 2 together. So the repeat then is 4 by itself and then 2 together. Please repeat that for round number 19. Round number 20, the first 3 are by itself, so we have 1, 2, and 3, and then 2 together, and then that's your repeat all the way around. So 3 by itself and 2 together. Repeat that for number 20. The 21st round is one single crochet around in each, but I want you to make sure that you finish it off the way that I'm about to show you, because we're going to be attaching the body, and I want the body to actually look like it belongs with it. So what we're going to do is you just start off and you'll just single crochet then the starting and go almost all the way around, and maybe at the end of this round in a few moments. So I want the very last couple stitches just to be a slip stitch, so it brings the character down. So this just slip and slip, so you're not actually changing the counts, you're just making it a slip stitch to make it look like it's finishing off as a flat. So what I want you to do is just cut this yarn now, and what we have to do is that we have to start stuffing the head, and we're gonna be placing our safety eyes. The safety eyes have to be placed at this moment because then you won't have access to this spot of the character later. So let's stuff the head and see what it's gonna look like first, and then we're gonna try to position the eyes using the picture that was provided to us on the front cover of the pattern, just to get an orientation. So I now have this stuffed. It's pretty good. We can still access the stuffing a little bit more, but what you want to do is you want to look straight on down, and you can see that it jumps out like the front side here because we added more stitches to the one side, and if you kind of lay it flat you can really kind of see it. So that gives you the orientation of this is the front of the face. So what we have to do now is grab your safety eyes. They said that they're 3/8 in size, but if you have a different size you can probably get away with something else as well. And what we want to do is we want to position the eyes in a strategy there. So let me examine the pattern and let's see what we're gonna get ourselves into next. So here's the front of the face. I believe that there's about 8 stitches between the eyes. Again, that's just an interpretation. You can decide something else. Do you see how it's more open here? That's the traditional way of doing a single crochet 2 together. So by doing it the way that I showed you, it'll look more like this than it would look like that. And that's just something that you can decide for yourself. So using your 3/8 eyes, we're gonna grab our safety eyes now, and let's see if we can position that and see if that makes sense. So using the orientation, what I believe is the front, I'm just looking at the sides here where it kind of juts out, and then I'm gonna turn it and I'm gonna say this is kind of the front here. Again, this is just interpretation, it's just a guess, and these are safety eyes, and I'm just going to position one right here. Now don't snap it in yet, and follow that same line 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Is it too much or is it not enough? I might bring it in just one more and stick it in. So I'm just kind of looking at the orientation. I might bring it in one more. Sometimes with these little characters, the closer the eyes, the cuter they are. Okay, so I'm gonna settle for that. If it's wrong, it's wrong. So what I want to do is that I want to take the washer that's been provided with the safety eyes, and you do it so that it looks like a bowl, okay, and you're going to just put it here. So you're just gonna go underneath and just snap it onto that section. Okay, so you just come in like this and just push it on. And you can feel it click and you can hear it as well. So you want to do both sides like that. These are called safety eyes. Once they go on, they're virtually almost impossible to get off. So it's not something that you can change later. Honestly, they're that hard to get off. And so that's what I'm gonna settle for, and we're gonna continue our journey at this point. What I'm about to show you is called cinching. So I like to create a slip knot on one side, and we're gonna feed this to the other side. So use the same color yarn as the body. And what I want to do is that I want to come from the underside, and I want to come just behind the eye. Just choose one eye like that, and don't go, and just make sure you just grab one little fiber and to go back in. And I want to capture that slip knot onto this, and that will hold that into position. Okay, so I'm just gonna pull it tight. Now I want you to go with this strand to the other eye and just capture one fiber, and then back down. And what you can do is that now the strand is attaching the two eyes together. So you're gonna cinch, and you're just gonna pull that strand, and what it will do is that it will pull the eyes closer together, causing the front of the face to pop out. So pull to what you think that you need, and therefore the nose will appear somewhere right here. Once you're satisfied with this, just secure this in behind on some fibers, so make sure it ties into position, and therefore that should never come out on you. And that's called cinching. It's a great little technique for getting shaping. And I can just leave these strands on the inside of the character. It's all good. And therefore it looks like that. So we can continue to stuff this if we have to, but for now we're going to then move on to continuing the character, and we're now going to start this section here with the new color, which will be the color of the outfit. So let's take a look at the photo next. So as we continue along, we're now going to switch to this blue color. So the first few rounds are going to be the blue, and then we're going to then return back to the body color after that. So this part of the dress is actually lifted off of the body, and we're going to make sure that we have to watch for that. So the first few rounds, as we're getting it bigger again, will be this blue as we continue it out. So the part of the outfit is part of the body, but then the rest of the outfit is standing on its own to give it that free-flowing look. Let's begin to do this next. So right here is where you left off. That's your stitch marker. So what I want you to do is that I want you to start there with your new color. That's going to be there. And I want you to just slip stitch it to attach it, and then as we begin the next round we will finish where we are right now with this being the last. Okay, so this is kind of an extra stitch being thrown in, but don't make it an extra stitch. You're just attaching it to the very last one. So what you want to do here on the 22nd round is you want to do one single crochet in the next three. So we have 1, 2, and 3. And then I want you to put 2 into the next one. So 1 and 2. So that's gonna be the repeat all the way around. So 3 by itself and then 2 into the next. Please do this for the 22nd round, and I'll just confirm what you're gonna finish for the end for this. So I'm coming up around, and I got 1, 2, and 3. The last one will be a 2 into the same one, and it's going to be the same one that you did the attachment with. Okay, so make sure that you don't make sure that you do finish on that stitch. Okay, so then that's where you're going to move your stitch marker up on that one, so we have it as a nice solid join, and it looks pretty good. So let's now begin, and we're going to start the 23rd round. The 23rd round, as you begin, it's now going to be 4 single crochets in a row. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then 2 into the same one. Okay, so that's your repeat. So 4 by itself and then 2 into the same. This is number 23. Let's begin number 24. There's gonna be 5 in a row and then 2 into the same one. So round number 24 is 5 in a row and 2 into the same one. Please do that all the way around for round number 24. Let's begin the 25th to the 28th round. It's just one single crochet in each. There is a total of 4 rounds. Show on your little check sheet. Check off 25, 26, 27 and 28. Do all 4 rounds and meet me at the end of 28 in just a moment. So one single crochet in each. I'll be right back. So I'm coming up to the end of number 28. I never told you to do this already, but what I'm telling you now is the last 3 stitches on the last 28th round. I want you just to slip stitch. 1, 2 and 3. And the reason for that is that what we need to do in the next round is that we need to create the look of the dress lifting off of the character. So make sure you move the stitch marker up on that last one, and then we'll begin the 29th round in a moment. On the 29th round, what I need you to do starting in the very next stitch is go into the back loop only, and I want you to single crochet in the back loop only because we are going to use the front loops later on. That's where the dress will lift off. Okay, so go all the way around and continue, and we are going to be eliminating this color at the end of this round and switching back to the body because the dress will pick up right from these front loops later on in the project. So just back loop only, single crochet for round number 29. So I'm coming up to the end of number 29. I'm going in the back loops only, and you go right to that stitch marker. Okay, and then I want you to slip stitch to the next one after the last stitch, and I want you to end this color and move up that stitch marker before you forget. Okay, and the stitch marker is the second one back because I just slip stitched to the next one. So this is not going to count as a stitch going forward. We are going to just continue to use the same stitch later, if that makes any sense. So I'm just slipping in there just to hold that position. So I want to get rid of this color, and we're gonna move back to the body of the color, the body color next, which is back to the gray, and we'll move on to round number 30 next. Okay, so I'm just gonna create a slip knot with the body. This is the last stitch. I just want you to attach into that last stitch. Don't include, we're gonna finish this last stitch when we get back around, but that's just gonna hold it there. And starting in the very next stitch that has the slip stitch, I want you to single crochet the next 6 in a row. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, and then 2 single crochets in the next. So repeat that all the way around. So 6 by itself and then 2 into the next, and this is round number 30. So I'm coming into the very last stitch. It's the same one that I did the join with, and you'll have 2 single crochets in there if you're keeping those counts. So now I want you to move the stitch marker up, and let's begin number 31 in a moment. Round number 31 is just simply 1 single crochet in each of the stitches going all the way around. Please do this. This is number 31. 1 single crochet in each. 32nd round we're gonna do another increase. So you're gonna put 7 by itself. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7, and then 2 into the same one. So repeat that sequence, 7 by itself and then 2 into the same. Repeat this around for round number 32. Okay, ready to keep going? Okay, I just had a quick washroom break. Not that you need to know that, but it's a long video today. So what we have now is the 33rd to the 37th round is just 1 single crochet in each. There's a total of 5 rounds in all. So get all those 5 rounds done and meet me back here in just a moment at the end of number 37. So let's now move on to the 38th round. We're going to do a decrease. Do the decrease like I showed you before on the technique, and I need you to put in 7 single crochets in a row. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7, and then put the next 2 together. Yeah. Okay, so 7 and then 2 together, 7, 2 together. Do that around for number 38. Lucky round number 39 is just 1 single crochet into each stitch all the way around. Please do this. Number 39, 1 single crochet in each. I'll be right back. Round number 40 we're going to do another decrease, so there's going to be 6 in a row. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, and then 2 together, and I need you to do that same sequence all the way around. So it's 6 by itself and then 2 together. Please do this and do not fasten off at the end of this round, as we're going to continue then to doing one of the legs. Okay, so here we are at the end of the 40th round. Do not fasten off. We're going to separate the legs now, and we're going to start the right leg first. So I'm not going to start stuffing this until I get the one leg finished, and then as you do the second leg, that's when you actually need to stuff, because you will not have access to the interior after you do that second leg. So do the first leg and then we're going to stuff, and then etc. So what we're going to do with this, the legs are done in a way that this is going to divide in half, and we're going to circle around half of it and just continue the one leg, and then the other leg will then be done afterward. So this is really neat on how it's done. So let's begin, and we're going to separate the legs, starting with the right leg and the instructions next. Okay, watch how we do this. So we're going to then continue along, and we're going to single crochet in the first 3 stitches. So we have 1, 2 and 3. Then I need you to chain 3. So 1, 2, 3. This is going to be what is going to take it over to the other side. So in order to do that though, first we need to skip the next 21 stitches. So let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and the 22nd one here is where you're going to pick it up. So now you're going to single crochet that one, which is counting as the last 18. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 and 18. Look at that. So you end up back at that stitch marker. So now we're just gonna move that stitch marker up and begin the next round for the legs. In the leg section of the pattern, it does not have a round count. It just says next round, next round, next round. So just for tutorial reasons, I'm going to list the next round as next round number 1. That's in the video chapters. So starting in the next one, we want to single crochet in each of the stitches going around. You're only concentrating on one side of the leg. So in the chain 3, you just need to place in 1 single crochet in each of the chains. And that helps really establish that crossover. And then starting on the other stitch on the other side, right there, you're going to continue around. So it's 1 single crochet in each stitch around. This is next round number 1. I'll be right back in a moment. Okay, next round number 2 has a triple asterisk in front of that instruction, so we're gonna have to refer to that in the future at some point. So just keep an eye on that. So this is next round number 2, and you want to do a decrease on this round. So you're gonna single crochet the next 2, and then single crochet together the next, put those together, and then it says repeat a round. So all you just need to do is that you're going to single crochet the next 2, and then put the next 2 together. Please do that all the way around. This is the next round number 2. Next round number 3, you're going to start up, and it'll just be 1 single crochet in each stitch all the way around. So this is next round number 3, 1 single crochet in each. I'll be right back. Okay, next round number 4 is you're going to put in a single crochet in the next one, and then the next 2 are together, and that's gonna be your repeat going all the way around. Okay, so the next one's by itself, and then the next 2 are together. Please repeat this. This is next round number 4. Okay, next round number 5 is just 1 single crochet in each stitch all the way around. When I finish this round, I want to do a slip stitch near the end of it so that I have a nice sequence, because we're gonna switch off to pink, which will be the first time you're using that color for signifying the feet of your mouse. So it's 1 single crochet in each. There's just a few stitches in the round, so I might as well keep you going. So as I get closer, the last 2 stitches I'm going to slip stitch just to have the equal nature to it. and that's where I'm gonna move my stitch marker, and I wanna fasten off this color at this point as well. Okay, so I'm gonna fasten this color off, and then I'm gonna introduce pink that I have. The pink's darker than I would prefer it to be, but that's okay. It's a first world problem. Okay, and so you can just secure that, and then you can toss the remaining of that inside the character. So let's move on to the next round, number 6. Okay, next round, number 6, I want to attach it to the one that has the stitch marker, and I'm only just gonna attach it to that one. And then I'm going to treat the rest of it as a 2 together all the way around. So just adding the stitches together. Just still using that same technique because it's great. And so you'll put the single crochet 2 together all the way around, and I'll be back at the end of this round. It's gonna get a little tight at this moment, but that's what you're looking for. I'll be right back. Okay, bringing the last 2 together. And the last one is right where I slip stitched when I started just to join. It's gonna get pretty tight in here, so just bear with me. So I'm coming all the way around, and I'm just gonna attach it 2 together, and the right where I joined is right where the last stitch is going to be. So let's move on to the next round, number 7, which is the final round for all of it. The next round, number 7, is just 1 single crochet in each of the stitches all the way around, and then when we get to that, we're just going to just finish this off just with our tapestry needle, and then we're gonna move on to the next leg. So 1 single crochet in each around. Okay, once you come all the way around, you're just going to cut the yarn and just pull through. And it says to do this, it says weave off the last end and draw the end lightly through the remaining stitches. So what it's asking us to do essentially is to kind of gather the stitches at this time. I am going to remove the stitch marker out of this. So what I want to do is that I just want to remove it out of this section here so that I have a nice clean area. So I'm gonna leave it up here just in case I need to do that. I don't know yet, but I will. If I pull everything out, I might regret it. So I'm just gonna go around the remaining of this and kind of pull it tight. And once you're happy with it, just make sure that you tie it into a knot. And I strongly recommend that you put it through the bottom of the foot and draw it up through there. So just open it up with your hands, and you can feel it in behind coming through like that. And what I would strongly recommend as well, just kind of access it here, just make sure it ties into a knot in behind on the same color so that it will never come out on you. So now what we have to do is that we have to stuff this character, and before we start the second leg, because you won't be able to stuff after that. So now I want you to do is stuff the character firm. So when you stuff it, don't stuff it to the point where it's gonna be bleeding the stuffing. Make sure that the stitches still look good together, but it's relatively firm when you go to touch it. This is the time now to make sure that you have enough in the head as well to make sure that it was as firm as it's going to be. And I want you to take your time, and I'll be right back, and I'll have all of this stuffed, and then we'll start the second leg in a moment. Okay, so let's begin the second leg. I want to go on the stitch, so just continuing in the same rotation that you've been doing, go into the first one that was available after this one. Okay, and I want you to be able to attach like that. I'm gonna put that in behind, and also at this point I want to put in a stitch marker there as well. And then I'll be able to see that when I come around. Okay, so now that we have attached, I'm going to just start by single crocheting into the first. Okay, and then I want to single crochet in each of the stitches going all the way to the other side where this ends. So it's the last one, and then we're gonna jump across and come back. So I'll be right back in a moment. So I'm coming around, and I'm coming to the very last one before the other leg starts, chain 3, and then just jump back across to where you had started. Okay, and that's going to be your first one. So just put in 1 single crochet in the first one that where you started, just to hold it. Okay, and then I'm gonna move up that stitch marker just to make sure that I catch it into position. This opening that I have right here, we're going to sew that shut later. And let's proceed to the next round here on the left leg. So starting right where I am, I'm just gonna continue just a single crochet all the way around, and on that chain 3 just make sure you put 1 single crochet in each of that chain 3 like we did before, and then you'll be right back to where you had started. So this is the second round of the left leg. I'll be right back. So in the instructions what we're doing is we're going back to the triple asterisk to the triple asterisk. So this was marked as number next round number 2, sorry. And so now we're going to start a decrease. So you're going to single crochet the first and then put the next 2 together. Continually stuff your leg as you go as well. It'll be easier for you, but don't wait until the end for sure. So this one is 1 single crochet in the next and then 2 together, and this is next round number 2 of the second leg. I'll be right back. So in the pattern we're now going back to the triple asterisk to the triple asterisk. This is next round number 2 that we had done before, and so in this round we're going back and we're gonna do the first 2 as a single crochet and then a 2 together, and you're gonna repeat that around. Okay, so 2 by itself and then 2 together, and then maybe at the end of this round. This is next round number 2 for the left leg. Let's begin next round number 3. It's just 1 single crochet in each stitch going all the way around, so please do that. This is the left leg, next round number 3. 1 single crochet in each. The next round number 4 is going to be 1 single crochet in the first, and then the next 2 are together. And this is for the left leg, so it's 1 by itself and then the next 2 are together. Please do that all the way around for next round number 4. Next round number 5 is going to be 1 single crochet in each. Please make sure that you finish the last 2 as a slip stitch to have the equal balance so that you can apply the last 2 rounds with the pink color for the feet. I'll be around in just a moment from now. So I'm looking where that stitch marker is, and it gives me the indication of where I need to finish. Okay, so I got 2 stitches left, so I'm just going to slip and slip, and then we'll begin the pink section next. This is going to be moving on, and we're going to be doing next round number 6 and 7 in a moment. So let's just get rid of this color and let's do the final 2 rounds next. So we're going to begin the next round number 6, and right where you finished off, just attach it to where that stitch marker is, and then start in the next stitches. So you're gonna do 2 together all the way around. It's gonna be tight like it was before, so you may want to toss that loose end inside. Just get it out of your way, and then put the 2 stitches together all the way around. So I'll be at the end of the round in a moment. And finally the last round of the leg is just 1 single crochet in each of the final 6 that you have left, and then you're just gonna pull it shut like you did on the original. So I'm gonna leave that in your hands and just get that completely closed. You're going to have a hole in the center between the legs. Make sure that you have your character stuffed as much as you want to, because we're gonna be sealing that in just a few moments. At the end of this round, make sure that I'm just gonna have a slip stitch to the end, and then just use that long tail that I'm about to cut to weave in the ends with the tapestry needle and seal the deal. So let's just check that, and I'll be right back in a moment. Okay, so let's bring the 2 legs together at the seam line. So just grabbing a tapestry needle and the same color as the body. I create a slip knot on the one side always just to have that security. And what I'm going to do is just take this and just bring the legs together with the whip stitch. So once I go through, I'm just gonna put it through the slip knot, and that'll help lock it, and I'm gonna toss the loose end inside the character. Now just working across the bottom, just go straight across and seal the deal of bringing the legs together. Make sure it is completely stuffed, of course, before you complete this, and I'll be back in a moment. Once you have it all the way stuffed, or sorry, once you have it all the way sewed, just make sure that you seal the deal, And what I like to do is just tie it into a knot and then just going in through the character, out through somewhere else, and then back in, and then out. Just keep it nice and tight and then back in. So if you feel it, you want to do it another way, you can. Like that. Okay, and so then I'm going to cut that, and that'll be the end of that. And now we're going to move on into the skirt next. Let's begin to do the skirt. Right where we finished, right here, you can see that there's a line there. Those are the front loops that we left open, and I want you to put in a stitch marker to indicate where we are. I am going to, in this particular section, I am going to join it as I go around each one, so I'm not going to do a continuous, but it may help you just to understand where the first one is. So as you join it, you want to join it to the one that you have marked, if you decided to do that, and you want to chain 2 when you join. So you got 1 and 2. Now when you go in this particular section of the pattern, whenever you do a chain 2 at the beginning of the round, it's not going to count as a half double crochet, so it's just a builder. So around the same one that you did the join, I want you to put in a half double crochet, noticing that I have the character upside down. Now that the first one is in, you're going to half double crochet the next one, and there's a repeat going on in this one because we're going to do an increase to make sure that this skirt goes out. So the next one after this is going to be 2 half double crochets in the same stitch, so that's providing an extra stitch. Going around the first time is kind of awkward, so make sure that you just take your time. So the repeat pattern then is the next 2 will each be a half double crochet, and then the next one after that will have 2 into the same loop. So please do this all the way around. This is the first round. When you get all the way back around, then you're just going to slip stitch to the top of the first half double crochet, and that will complete the first round. So let's move on to rounds number 2 and 3 next. 2 and 3 are just a half double crochet in each, so just chain 2, does not count. Start with the first one just in the regular stitches now, just half double crochet around, and then do this for round number 3 as well. So rounds 2 and 3, half double crochet in each stitch around. I'll be back in a moment. Now I've just finished number 3. If you would like the dress to be longer, you can just continually add more rounds to this. It's actually pretty easy. The 4th round is exactly what we just did, but at the end of the 4th round we are going to then just change out the yarn color. So just chain 2 and apply 1 half double crochet in each, and at the end of this round we're going to eliminate this color and provide the final trim. So if you would like to make your dress longer, continue to do so, and then you can do the 5th round anytime that you're ready for the final. And I will be back in a moment to start the 5th round. So I'm coming up to the end of number 4, and then I'm going to eliminate this color out and begin the 5th and final round for the trim. And whatever trim color you decided, I'm gonna keep it as a gold. I kinda like it. It kinda reminds me of a bit of a circus theme, to be quite honest with you. So I'm gonna eliminate this color, and I want to just use my tapestry needle to hide it in this color. So usually I would just weave in the ends with a hook, but in this case, because it is an outside edge piece that you're going to be working with, I would recommend that just putting it through a tapestry needle and then just gliding it back and forth like you did on the very first adjustable ring that we started with. So back and forth, don't change the shape of your project, and keep the needle on this side, like the underside of the top or the skirt. So now we're going to begin the final round, and let's begin that. Let's begin the final round. I'm gonna show you a standing single crochet because I think it looks nicer. Just go right to the very back of the character and continuing along. So do a standing single crochet. So put it onto the hook, go into the stitch, pull it through, and you see the 2 loops, pull through the 2, and that's a standing single crochet. So you're gonna do that, and then I'm gonna show you what to do next. In the next one you want to put 2 half double crochets into the same stitch. So this is gonna make it flare out a little bit more, and then the next one is going to be a single crochet into the next stitch. Okay, so that is going to be the end of the repeat. So here's a repeat. The next one is gonna be a single crochet, and then the next one is 2 half double crochets, and then the next one is a single, and that's your repeat. Okay, so the repeat is single, two half doubles, and then a single, and then you keep repeating that all the way around. So please do that, and I'll meet you at the end of this round in a moment. So I'm coming up all the way around. I'm just following the sequence of the pattern, and then I'm going to join it. So I just showed you already on just how to weave in the end, so I would do the same thing with the tapestry needle. Just fasten off, turn it to the underside of the skirt, and then just fasten it in and get rid of any tails that you have. We're gonna be moving on now in the character. We're gonna put this piece aside and we're gonna start the ears next. So let's cover making the ears. The ears are made up of two pieces, and then both pieces are put together with a single crochet that attaches it. So the back piece here is the gray and the front piece here is the pink. So what I'm going to do is that I'm only gonna show you the one piece because they're both identical to each other, and then I'm gonna show you how to put them together, and then we'll do that. Okay, so nice and simple. Let's begin the ear, and you'll make two alike. So you'll make two sets of ears. So let's start making the ears first. So you'll have to make two inside pinks, or whatever color you decide to do for the inside of the ear, and you are going to chain a total of 2, 1 and 2, and let's begin the first round. Starting the first round, second chain from the hook, which is the very first chain. I want you to tightly single crochet around into that stitch and do that 6 times. So that was 1, go right up over top of that straggler, and 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Okay, and then I need you to join it to the beginning single crochet, so it's not a continuous round this time. So if you think the interior is fine, just pull it nice and tight, and then it will just close it down a little bit more, and then we're going to begin the second round. Second round, you're just gonna chain up 1 and apply 2 single crochets into each stitch all the way around. So just starting with the first one, 2 into that one, and do 2 into each, and I'll see you at the end of this round in a moment. This is round number 2. Round number 3, after you've done the join, just chain 1, and you were going to put in 1 single crochet in the first, and then 2 single crochets in the next, and that's gonna be your repeat pattern around. So it's 1 single crochet in the first, 2 into the next. Please do this all the way around for round number 3. And finally the fourth round is chain up 1 single crochet in the first 2, and then 2 into the next, and you'll repeat that around. So the next 2 are by itself, and then there's 2 into the next. Please do this all the way around. We're gonna be finishing up at the end of this round. At the end of this round, after you get your last 2 in there, I do not want you to join, and this applies also to the second piece that you need to make. But what you do need to do for both of them is after you get here, you do want to fasten off completely, so it leaves like a divot that's open, and so if you notice that the divot was open here on this original, that's what you want. So to fasten off, just take the tapestry needle and weave in the tail on the back side of the circle, and just go back and forth a total of 3 times. I want you now to make 2 of these, so if you've done 1, just do another, and then I need you to make 2 more of these, but in the body color, whatever color the body, in my case it's gray. So please do that, and I'll be back in a moment and I'll show you how to put them together. So let's now put the 2 pieces together. So once you have your set, you're good to go. So I want you to keep the pink in front of you, and and this is the wrong side. This is the wrong side, and this is the right side. You can see how it's kind of bowls towards each other. So I want you to put the 2 wrong sides together, and I want you to match the divot section together. Coming into the very first one, I'm going to show you a standing single crochet, so just put it onto the hook already and go into that one and go into the one that matches, so that the wrong sides are facing each other. And all I need you to do is just pull through, and you'll have 2 loops on the hook. Pull through the 2, and that is a standing single crochet, so that's your very first one. So matching the next stitch to the next stitch of the one in the back, like that, and then just keep on going all the way around, and you have it's exactly the same size. So what this is doing is that's framing the pink with this color, and so what you're looking at is the front side of the ear, of course. And I just get that done, and I'll see you at the end of this rotation and make sure that you do not go all the way around. Stop at the last stitch before the divot happens. Once you're all the way around before you are here, so you're before the divot starts, so I want you to just trim this long enough, and we're going to use that tail to then sew it to the mouse. So I need you to do 2 sets of these, and you'll have them ready to go, and that's what we're going to be doing next time. So let's take a look at the character picture and let's sew this on. So using the character picture, you just kind of want to see where it's positioned. Look at where the eyes are compared to where the bottom of the ear is, and you can adjust as well. You can use some pins to pin it to where you think it should be in place, which I'm going to do, and then I'll show you how to sew them on. So let's see if we can get these on just fine. So let's take a look at the face and see where we are. Let's look at those eyes, and let's just see if we can position these on. So you just gotta kinda just guess it where you think it should go, and I'm just gonna use a pin just to kinda pin it onto into position like that, and then I'm going to use the second one and to see where I think it should go. Probably right about there. You can always adjust, just put one on and then adjust the second one if you think it's wrong. And I think I'm good with that. So let's now sew these on. I'll show you how to do that. So to the operation table we go. We're going to attach the ear, cosmetic surgery. Here we go. And this trick to attaching anything like this is that you want to go across the front side, but you also want to turn this over and go along the back. So just right where it is, you just want to go right into the actual body of the project and then back into the attaching item that you have. And I just stabbed myself. Man, that hurt. Okay, so don't stab yourself. So go back into the body of it and then back into the ear. Take your time undoing it. So usually when I first started doing all this stuff, I was just doing one side, but then it makes it really floppy on the one side. So the trick is to make sure that you sew both sides of the attaching. So you see it's kind of there. So I'm gonna take out the needle before I stab myself further. Okay, I'm not bleeding, which is shocking. Okay, so then I'm gonna turn it over and I'm just gonna run the strand through the ear to the other side. And now do you see that? So if you would have sewed one side, you can see that it would be open on the back. So to the body we go, and then this will help keep the ear stabilized in an upright position as well. And it also hides that inner ear as well. So I want you to do both ears the same way. And once this ear is on, we want to check the orientation, make sure that it makes sense, and then adjust the second one. It's easier just to adjust the second one than it is to remove both ears at the same time. So staying on the back of the ear, I want you to finish off. So you've gone across the front and the back, and then I just want you to tie a quick little knot so that it gets stuck. And then I want you to weave it in and out of your project, a total, catching into the fibers, a total of 3 times. Once, twice. It's always a slightly different path each time, of course, because if you go in the exact same path, it'll fall out. So going back and forth the 3 times, and then you're good to go, and you should be able to cut that. And let's take a look at the orientation of that. It's cute, right? Now I want to take a look at the second one. Is it going to be matching? I think it's pretty close. So what I'm going to do is sew this one on, and then I'll be right back as we continue our journey. So let's begin to do the arms, and once you do the first arm, use the first arm as your model for the second. So you're going to be sewing this directly to the character. Even though you see sleeves on the character, that's added on afterwards. So I want you just to make 2 arms, so, and use an extra long tail at the very beginning so that you can sew it to the character. To begin, you are going to create a long tail, and let's begin our chain, and it's going to be a chaining of 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and slip stitch to the first chain and form the ring. Let's begin round number 1. In round number 1 you're gonna chain up 1 and you'll apply 1 single crochet in each of the stitches all the way around. It's gonna be tight. Just one of the things about amigurumi that I really get stressed about is the tightness of stuff like this, but this is what makes the character awesome. Keep that tail on the front side of the work as well, and so therefore you can use that to sew it in later. Once you come all the way around you should have a total of 4 stitches, so 1, 2, 3 and 4, and then slip stitch it to the very beginning where you started. Okay, so you're gonna just want to pop out the inside so that it's facing you. So pop that one and let's begin round number 2. You're going to begin round number 2 and the remaining of it until it's about 1.5 inches long. If this is your second arm, then make sure you just measure it to your first. So just chain up 1 and apply 1 single crochet in each stitch all the way around. There's only 4 stitches, so once you get all the way around make sure that you just join it with a slip stitch and etc. So just make sure that it's just pulling in nicely as it comes around. And it's hard when it's this small in your hands, but it gets easier. So then to start the next round you just chain up 1 and apply 1 single crochet in each of the stitches. So keep making this longer until it's about 1.5 inches, and then I'll see you there in a moment as we begin the final round with the skin color, which will be the pink. I'll be back in a moment. Once you get to the same length as the original, if this is your first one, it's about 1.5 inches, and so then you're gonna fasten off this yarn and just make sure that you weave it in. It ties the knot onto itself when you finish it the way that I'm showing. And what I did with the other one, which I wasn't sure I was gonna tell you that, but I'm just gonna stick my hook on the underside here so it's right inside, and then just grab that yarn and pull through. I'm not sure that's cheating, so I wasn't sure to show you that or not. So I just want to pull it inside of the project all the way down, and then I can just trim this and then stretch it back out. So now I'm going to begin my final round with the skin color. So the final round will just be the skin color. Just attach it. There's only 4 stitches if you recall, so it's not like it's gonna be a big deal. It's all these little minor details in amigurumi that kind of bug me a bit when I do it, but I love the finished look of an amigurumi. It's just the patience level can be quite for me is actually kind of stressful because I want to get it done like fast, but sometimes this takes time. So once I get my 4 stitches all done in a circle, I'm going to slip stitch it to the beginning, and then I'm going to take this and then just weave in the final. And then just taking your tapestry hook, and then you're just gonna weave in the ends back and forth in and out 3 times and then fasten that off. So then we have to sew the arms to the character. So now let's attach the arms. So I'd recommend that you just look at the face, look at where the body is, and maybe you want to put the arms, you could put the arms straight up, you can put it down, you can do whatever you want, and you want to do it so that it's in the blue, and you're going to use sleeves to be able to hide this in later. So you're just going to attach it to the blue just using a pin just to kind of hold it. You can determine if you want to move it, and you can also determine the angle, so if you want it to kind of lean forward you can. And then you're going to grab the second one like that. Just try to follow the same piece coming over so it looks even, and then using a pin to secure that. Now I already showed you how to secure it in the ear, so do the same thing. Go all the way around the arm and then just go from there. So I'm gonna have you do that on your own. So just take in that tail end and secure, and I'll be back in a moment. Get your arms attached now. We're now going to work on the sleeves. This is what it looks like a shell. And what you're going to do is leave a long tail at the beginning, and you're just gonna put it over top of the arm here, and you're gonna sew only the blue part to the outfit itself. Okay, so then the cuffing area or the ruffle stays unattached. Let's show you how to do this. This takes a few minutes. So you have to make 2 sleeves, of course, unless you're doing a 1-sleeved character, which is fine. So you're going to chain 2, 1 and 2, and let's begin the first row. I'm going to just go through this pretty quickly because it's actually really that simple. So you're gonna go second chain from the hook, and you're going to put in 3 single crochets. like that, and then you're going to turn, and let's do row number 2. In row number 2 you're going to chain up 1 and apply 2 single crochets in each of the 3 stitches that you have. So that gives you a total count of 9, or sorry 2 plus 2 equals 8. No, that gives you a total count of 6. Sorry about that. Don't even know where that even came from. So you got 2 into each of the 3, so that gives you a total of 6. Turn your work and let's begin the 3rd row. In 3rd row it's going to be the last time with this color, so you're going to chain up 1 and apply 1 single crochet in each of the stitches all the way to the other side. There's only a total of 6. And you need to finish this yarn off here. So just end your yarn. Use your tapestry needle to hide that in later if you can. Just finish it off and turn your work, and let's begin the final row using the border color of your dress. So in my case it was gold. So I'm going to start with my gold and just create a slip knot, put it onto the hook so you can create a standing single crochet. Come into the very first stitch, and if it's already on the hook you can go in, put this on top of the line so it gets stuck up underneath, and then just pull a loop through. You'll see 2 loops on there. That's your first standing single crochet. So it's your first crochet period. Then you're going to chain a total of 2 and then single crochet into the next stitch, and then chain 2, single crochet in the next stitch, chain 2, and etc. And you're going to do this all the way across, and this is the final row of your sleeves. So then you just have to position this on the character and sew the blue section only to the body of the character. So just make sure you have all your ends woven in, and just have the last strand that you started with as the one available to you, and you'll use that to sew it onto the character. I'm gonna trust in you to do that because you've already done the ears at this point, and you've already done the sewing of the arms. So just wrap it around the top of the arm and sew it directly to the body. So I've got this done so far. I like to position my arms so that they're slightly different from each other. It gives it part of the characteristics. If a character is just looking straight on, it looks like it's lifeless. So by just switching off the arms and just kind of giving it a position, you notice that my head is slightly turned. That's kind of an accident, but in actual fact I position my arms so that it kind of matches that expression. So instead of saying okay maybe I screwed up a little bit and not got my eyes centered, I can say well you know the character is actually turning its head. So you can say fake it or make it, and that's kind of what we're doing at this point. So now I want to move on to making the collar that will go wrapped around, and we're almost done at this particular pace. Okay, let's make the collar, and we'll try to go step by step. It's just 1 row across, but there's a lot of instruction there. So I'm keeping a very long tail just in case I have to sew it to the character at the spot, so I want to have it there just in case. So I want to chain 25. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 21 22 23 24 and 25. Let's begin our first row, which is the only row, but it's a little bit detailed. Okay, let's try to work through this slowly. So we're just gonna go second chain from the hook, get the back hump of the chain, it looks nicer, and you're going to single crochet second chain from the hook, and then you're going to single crochet 1 single crochet in the next 2 chains. So 1 and 2, and then it says 2 single crochets in the next chain, so 2 in there, and then it says 1 single crochet in each of the next 3. So we have 1, oh I see what they're doing, they're getting us to turn. So 2 and 3, and then it says 2 single crochets in the next chain. So we have 1 and 2, and 1 half double crochet in the next 2 chain. So half double crochet in this one and the next one. So 2 half double crochets are now in, and so we have the 1 double crochet in each of the next 2. So we'll do a double crochet in those. So 1 and 2. So the 2 double crochets are in, and now you're going to chain 2, and you're going to slip stitch down here into the same one as the last double crochet. This is creating a lapel look. And now it's telling us to chain 2 again, and in the same one you want to apply another double crochet. So this is creating a lapel area, and let's keep moving on in this tutorial. So now you're going to double crochet into the next chain, and then it's going to be half double crochet into the next 2 chains, and now we have something that's going to repeat twice. So we're going to put in 2 single crochets into the next chain, 1 single crochet in each of the next 3. So 1, 2, and 3. And the next chain is going to be 2 single crochets, and then the very last 3 chains that are left is going to each be 1 single crochet. So 1, 2, and 3. Okay, and I actually have an extra stitch here, so maybe I skipped something, but this is what it kind of looks like. Okay, so you can probably just fill it in if you have that extra left over, you might as well. And then what we're going to do is sew this to the character. So we're going to put the collar on, make sure the lapel area is right directly in the front here, and you want to stretch this to around the back. So you're going to want to use your pins to kind of hold things into position before you start sewing, because if you start sewing you could actually be wrong. So just make sure it stretches around, and I would double check the front of that just to make sure that it's being okay. So just keeping it, and if I have the body slightly turned, I'm going to turn her outfit as well. So you decide on how you want to stage your character. You know, child's is active in imagination. Now as a child, I'm admitting to you that I actually slept with stuffed animals until I was really probably a lot older than I probably should have been, but it gave me joy and it gave me comfort, and my parents were good with it too. So you know, my active imagination is what kind of saves me in the end. So once I have that positioned, I'm just going to check the front. You see that it's slightly turned. That's because her face is turned, and that's what I want. So I'm going to just use the back, and I'm just going to start sewing all the way around the character, and stay towards the top side so that you can get your finger underneath this so it looks like it's slightly lifted off. So you don't want to sew that to the point where it's looking like it's part of the body. You want a little bit of a lift. So just taking the end, and what I would do before I get started is that I would attach the 2 sides of the collar together here in the back. And therefore you have kind of where you need to go, and then just follow it straight around. Okay, and then just diving in, just stay on the top side and just get a few of the fibers that you need in the body itself, and that will hold that in. And so I want to be consistent about it, but I don't want to be to the point where it looks like it's indentating into the character. So just roughly go around. Okay, so I'll leave this in your hands and I'll be right back. So what do we got missing so far? So we have her tail. So now we're going to add her tail in, and let's go and do that. We'll do that the same as the skin color, so the pink or whatever color you decide. So you're just going to start with the slip knot, and I need you to chain a total of 13. I've left a long tail so I can sew this. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. And second chain for the hook, just just single crochet yourself all the way back, and then that will complete the tail. And then once you get that done, just position it underneath the skirt area and attach where you think it needs to be done, and do that. So I will be back in a moment as we have the nose as the final finishing. In the pattern it says to cinch the eyes. I had you do that right in the beginning, so you won't need to do that unless you decided to skip that step. So just get your tail done and attached, and I'll be right back in a moment. So now the tail is attached, and now it's just time for the nose. So I want to just kind of squeeze where I think the nose should be, and we're going to apply a satin stitch. So you're just gonna sneak in under where you think the nose should be. Okay, so it's right around there somewhere, and you're gonna pull through, and I put a slip knot on the other side, and there's an extra long tail so I can hide that in later. And when I do that, what I want to do is that I want to kind of push that slip knot into the inside of the project. I don't know if that's even possible, but I'm going to try. And how I'm gonna do that, because I'm thinking out loud here, I'm going to put my hook in the inside of the face, and right where that's coming out of, I want to just grab that strand, the loose strand, and I want to pull it so it's in the inside, and I want to pull it enough that the knot automatically falls to the inside of the project. Huh, it actually worked. If I sound shocked, I kind of am. So now that that's in, so when I position the rest of this now, I want to just kind of pinch this nose, and I want to kind of just follow the same area, and I don't want to over tighten. And I just want to work my way down a little bit. This is part of amigurumi that I don't really fully understand yet, but in time, right? And of course, if you have better ways, then you can make do with that as well. So the goal is to hide that body section in. I actually think I did an okay job. Knock on wood. Okay, so I'm just going to continue to see what I can do, just kind of using your fingers to kind of shaping things. And once I'm happy with it, what I want to do is that I want to take it on the inside of the project, this loose end. So when I go in this time, I'm just gonna go right in, and back out. And what I want to do is I want to divide some fibers so that I capture into that. It's harder to come out if it's going between plies. That I do know. So I think I got enough, so I'm gonna go right to the back of the head and right out the back end of the project. And then I'm going to cut the yarn there. And just shape it, it's gone. Now this piece here, we just did that just to hold it, so then you can just cut that and shape it, and that will fall to the inside. There is the nose. Cute, right? So what is missing? I'm gonna add a bubble heart, and this is not part of this pattern, but it's my own heart design, and I want her to be holding a little loving heart, and it's called a bubble heart, and I'll show you that next. So we have a tutorial available for bubble hearts. This has actually been done with felted yarn, and I felted it, and I did this a while ago. And what I'm going to do is that I want to just give her a little loving heart, and I want to position it on her hand. So I'm going to use the same color as her hand, and I want to put it through her hand. And then I'm just going to capture, and when I'm thinking about doing this, I want to capture it so that the weight of this doesn't interfere with her shaping, and I just want to capture this heart in her hand. I'm just gonna create a slip knot on this side so I can hide this in later. And I just want to tie this to her hand like this. Now do you see how it's falling away? So what I would want to do for that is that I want to go back through her hand and just go a little bit higher up on the heart and give it 2 points of contact and then back into the arm again. And then we can test it. Pull things nice and tight. I still think it needs things, so I'm gonna go higher up in into the arm and higher up into the heart. This is all staging. This is like the frosting on the cake as far as I'm concerned. I love this part of amigurumi, of adding in extra things that are not part of the design. So we'll test this, and if all worst comes to worst, then you cut it off. Okay, so she's got a little heart. So I'm going to just fasten this off and just weave in my ends, and I positioned this so I put in a little stick here depending on what you would like to do. I am staging it for myself, so I put a stick into the arm. It's going straight on down into the project. So if this is for a baby, you might want not to put anything inside the character so that it remains completely soft, but it's again your creativity. You can decide what works for you and just make sure that you keep it safe, whoever is going to be using it, as far as like what's inside. So she's got a slight turn, she's holding up a heart, she's loving you today, and that's it for our tutorial today. Have a good one. We hope to see you again real soon. Bye bye.